Hi, I'm Chelsea. Welcome to Windy Hill Crochet. A brand new school year is just getting started, and today we wanted to show some fun ways that you can link literacy for children with your crochet plushies. This is my mom, Sherry, and together we have fallen in love with crocheting Amigurumi plushies. We've been crocheting together for a very long time, my whole life, and so we just want to spread the joy of amigurumi and crocheting and some of our favorite ways to bring my children, her grandchildren, and beyond into it.
Chelsea has always been a bookworm, and I still remember the very first book she learned to read when she was 5 years old. Do you remember what it is?
Buzz the Bee.
That's right. It was one of those learn to read books, and from there she was unstoppable. You read so many of the Newbery Award books and the Newbery Honor books, and I love collecting the Caldecott Award books because of the beautiful pictures.
Yeah, and I have a much greater appreciation for that now as an adult since I went to graphic design school with a heavy emphasis in illustration, in my school. So much appreciation for the art in children's books.
Right. So today we're going to share some of our favorites and also some newer. So our favorites usually are like classics, but also some of the newer fun animal inspired stories that can coordinate really well with your amigurumi. And even if it's not specific to the animal that you've made, there are so many wonderful books that feature numbers of animals, and those would coordinate really well with loveys.
Right, and there's lots of ways that you can kind of tweak patterns or change colors to make your creations look more like a storybook character.
That's right. Some of the loveys, they may not have clothes, but you could actually put colors on their top to make it look like they have overalls or a shirt on and coordinate the color with the same shirt that the character wears in a storybook.
Yeah, it's lots of fun.
Yes.
I just stopped at the library before we filmed this video and grabbed a few books because I wanted to show some things that I love with some things I knew I had made already. But this is the Cookie Cow, Bitty Cookie Cow pattern by Raven and Jade, and it is really cute for the click clack moo cows that type. I remember reading this book to my brother a million times when he was little. He loved this one and I loved it also. So we have that cow, and then we have this chubby cow pattern.
And this is a Caldecott.
Yes, Caldecott honor book.
Honor book, yeah.
So we have this chubby cow, and we have kind of morphed it into calling it our cow-tato.
Right? Because we're not putting on arms or legs or anything.
Exactly, and I think this is by the Cozy Stitch. So we'll have all the patterns and books linked below in the comments if you want to look at anything a little more closely.
Yes.
But cows are so cute, and it may not look exactly like these cows, but wouldn't it be a fun little gift to have a cow book with your cow lovies?
That's right. Next, we're going to feature 2 storybooks with our little bitty river bunny rabbit.
Another Raven and Jade pattern.
Yeah, and we really love the bitty patterns with that Raven and Jade offers.
The soft bodies are to die for.
So we have the book, Guess How Much I Love You, that features little nut brown hair and big nut brown hair. And this is one of my all-time favorite storybooks. I've read this thousands of times to my kids over the years. And then we also have the story of Peter Rabbits with the beautiful illustrations by Beatrix Potter. And these are such classics. And, I just think classics never get old.
No, never.
It's never going to be old. So you can never go wrong by buying a little classic. And this one's a board book. They do offer board books for little kids who are like under 2 and under, which they'll destroy the pages otherwise. Otherwise, go ahead and purchase like the soft cover or the hardcover books for the little bit older kids. What was your favorite thing about this little amigurumi bunny?
Oh, I just love how adorable it ends up being, because This one's actually not my favorite one to make because you have to sew on the ears. I'm not a big on sewing things on, but my favorite driving force is how adorable it turns out at the end.
Yes.
It's always motivating to get it finished.
And I thought it was an easy pattern to make.
Definitely.
Too. Very easy because the arms and the legs take hardly any time. Making that body hardly takes any time. And I love how the face is sculptured on this one.
They're so
So
cute.
it gives it just a little bit more pizzazz without having to have a lot of sewing skills.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you're making things for market too, it's really easy to batch these and make a bunch of feet and a bunch of arms and a bunch of ears all at one time.
Right.
Because that's kind of mindless.
Next, we're going to feature 2 storybooks. Chelsea's holding Hello Moon, and I'm sorry if there's a glare. These came from the library, and they have their protective coating on, and so there might be a glare on the books. We have Hello Moon, and then we also have The Mitten. And both of these books feature lots of animals. So if you make any kind of lovey at all or any kind of amigurumi, one of these 2 books is a great accompaniment because it just the overall vision
Right.
of animals.
Woodland creatures.
Woodland creatures. We've got a fox and a mouse and a hare and
badger.
a bear and a badger.
And there's owls in both of these books also.
Right. So there's so many different animals and a toad.
Yeah, there's a
that
toad
one.
in here too. So if you have the Mama Made Minis book,
Yeah.
you've got several
Has a toad.
options. Yeah.
Yeah. So either of these, and I think some of the other Jan Brett books also feature lots of animals.
Yeah.
But The Mitten's one of my favorite classics.
Definitely. Next, we have the classic Elmer elephant. He is the patchwork elephant, so it'd be really fun to make an elephant amigurumi pattern, which I know there's one in the Mama Made Minis book. But it'd be fun to make a patchwork elephant just like him.
Yes.
And-
very colorful.
Yeah, there's a whole series of Elmer books, and this was just the one that was on the top of my shelf and I grabbed. And it's really fun because there's Elmer's Day, and he's the only one that gets to look like an ordinary elephant that day, and everybody else has to dress up.
He's ordinary and everybody else becomes colorful. But it's just a really fun book because I think it teaches being creative and also being unique.
Right.
And being yourself. And it's okay for kids to know that they can be special in their own ways.
Exactly. And next, we have the all-time classic Curious George.
I remember when I first saw my very first Curious George book when I was little, and I just thought he was a hoot. He's crazy. And I love the man with the yellow hat. I think Curious George is just full of antics and very fun, and most kids really love. He is just such a classic book character.
Yes, definitely. All the way to this day. He's made it 75 years.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure if there's anything more you have to do to a amigurumi to make him look like Curious George. He's
Right.
just a cute little monkey.
We know there's a monkey pattern in the Mama Made Minis book. We
Yes.
haven't made one yet, but
Neither of us have
it's-
made that one yet.
that one would be a really easy one for a gift, for sure, for a special kid in your life.
The next book we're going to feature is Where the Wild Things Are. And I just love the little Yeti pattern out of the Mama Made Minis book because this little pattern can be a monster. And if you want to find a story for the Yeti, there's a Yeti in My Spaghetti. That's another children's book. But this classic by Maurice Sendak has been around a long time and really fosters creativity and just unique storytelling.
It's such a fun book. I remember that book being read a lot when I was little also.
So this is one of my favorites to pair with the little Yeti from the Mama Made Minis
Yeah,
book.
as soon as I made this one, she's like, hey, it reminds me of Where the Wild Things Are.
That's right. Exactly. And I love the fluffy yarn on it.
As you can see, we talked about a bunch of books, but this is really only scratching the surface because there's a million books out there. But I hope it gives you a springboard for ideas of things that you could make for the kids in your life, and maybe even the adults, because I don't think anybody is ever too old for a handmade plushie. So let us know in the comments what your favorite storybooks are and the characters that you could make for your loved ones. We'll see you again next time.